Hey everybody, thank you for stopping by Healing Conversations. I'm Zuribibi, and I went back to my original setup just for a minute. I'm in front of the camera so you can see my face. Um, the reason why I did this was pretty interesting. I This morning, well actually last night too. I don't know if I'll talk about that last night thing, but this morning while I was getting ready, I had a memory of, I don't remember how old I was, but I was under 10, 12, maybe even a teenager. I'm not, it happened often, but I just remember this one specific incident. Whereas my mother and sister wanted chicken. I didn't like chicken, fried chicken. I didn't want it because we had it all the time. And I didn't want it. I think I wanted McDonald's, Jack in the Box, Burger King, anything other than chicken. And when I said that, I don't know if it was my sister or my mother, but one of them said, "You always have to be difficult. Why do you always have to? You're being selfish. How come you have to want something else? Why don't you just get what we want? Get this. This is what we're getting." We had chicken. And this morning it made me think about that, and I started feeling some kind of way, like, you know, I was always made to conform, fall in line, do what everybody else, was doing. And it's funny. Um, it just made me feel some kind of way, and so, if you've been watching my channel, you'll know that I do readings for myself every morning, and I write them down in this book. I wrote a lot. All of this is my readings that I've done for myself, but today I did it a little different. Normally I would just do the reading and I would just let spirit talk, and I would just look at the message and meditate on the message and be like, okay, that's cool. But today, when I did it, I wrote questions down. And I mean, I'm not going to tell you all my business, but the first thing I wrote down, because this was how many pages was this today? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I wrote 6 pages of stuff. A lot of stuff came out for me today. But what I wrote down was being made to conform. How do you reprogram and release that energy? And how is that affecting me as a twin flame? And so I did all my other little readings and things like that, and I got some information and things I needed to do. And at the end of, normally what I do at the end of my reading, I'll do a tarot reading. And I put out spellcasters and I put out Starman Tarot. I like them both because they give me balance. One is definitely twin flame stuff, spellcasters. The other one is more dealing with within what's in you. Some of the messages may coincide with spellcasters love, but most of it is as getting into yourself. How do you learn who you are, and how do you project it out? How you can project it, move forward in that idiom, goal or whatever it is. And what I wrote down, again, I wrote down, how did having to conform affect my childhood. And I kid you not, the spellcaster's 3 cards fell out. The first one was Reverse Empress. Second one was 6 of Cups, right side up, and the Wheel of Fortune, which it affected my ability to be abundant as a child and affected my life fortune. That's what I wrote. It affected my life in a lot of ways. Me being able to make the decisions on my own, to do what I want to do on my own. Because I was always told, no, you do this. No, I know you wanted to, even though I wanted to do that, they said, no, you do that. And being made to do that affected me as a child. And it affected me with my twin flame, and it affected me with friends, it affected me with jobs, it affected me a lot of stuff. I mean, a lot of the stuff I would, I kind of was like, no, I knew enough. But that affected me. And it's clear now with that. So what I did afterwards, I pulled out Starman. I like those cards. I'm a star seed. I'm an alien person, so they probably my family. I say that all the time. People laugh at me, but I'm serious because I relate to them. When I pulled up Starman, I got King of Cups, 5 of Pentacles, the Sun, and 3 of Wands. And let me back up, because the King of Cups clarified the Empress. The 5 of Pentacles clarified the 6 of Cups. And the Sun and 3 of Wands clarified the Wheel of Fortune. Now, if you read it as tarot, it probably says something way different than what I'm about to say. And how I can reverse, release, move forward from the above energy is for me to believe in myself, look for the disowned treasures within me so I can allow my life to expand and fulfill me. Then put my plan into action. I like that. It's a solution. It's telling me how to get out of that energy. I found that a lot of readers don't do that. But a lot of them do. Another reason why I'm coming on here like this is because I have been following Sophia Charles's program. You may hear a lot of people talk about it. I had it for a while. I bought it. I didn't buy it from Sophia, but I bought it from someone else. And I had it for a while, and I went through it, and I was swallowing it, devouring it. I love to learn. I'm a student for life, and I say that. I'm learning something all the time. That's probably why I'm in education and other things. And I found that information has the information has tremendously helped me with my twin, because going back to my reading, if I was having all these issues as a child that affected me, somewhere along the line my twin was dealing with something like this too. Maybe not in the way that I was dealing with it, but he got his own stuff over there, whatever. And how to get out of the energy is the same way. The same to reprogram and release and move forward, to get out of that stagnant energy of feeling like you got to conform. What I said earlier, he has to do the same thing, some kind of way, some way, so how. Now, mind you, and I know I talk about it all the time, but my twin stays about 20 minutes from me now. He's moved closer. My journey's a little weirder than a lot of the journeys. it's just a lot. And but I can we but I did go through the push and pull. I did go through the ghosting. I did go through the lying. I did go through the cheating. I went through all of that stuff. I did go through all that. But I went through all of it for years because I didn't have Sophia Charles's program. And even though a lot of that stuff was happening with us, even though I didn't have the program, I still was able to do some other things to offset the drama. I didn't know I was doing it, but intuitively I was doing things that, if we would get off track, I was doing things to get us back on track. Which was interesting because once I got the program, I just started laughing because I was like, oh, I'm already doing this. Oh, okay, I'm doing this. Okay, oh, I need to do this. Oh, okay, now I know why that happened. It kind of made a lot more sense to me on this journey. We are in contact a lot. I was laughing earlier because he actually sent me a message. The abundance will come to you. If you follow the program, I'm not allowed to sell it yet. I need to get a reading from Sophia. I'm sure she'll tell me some stuff that I think I don't, that I probably forgot, because I remember a lot of my childhood, but I'm sure she'll find something that I don't remember, and that will help me as well. But I can definitely tell you, going within to deal with your stuff, yep, you got to do it. I remember as a child, because I'm going to back up. I'm only in 12 minutes into this reading. I'll keep it to 20, since I'm facing the camera. If I wasn't facing the camera, I probably would stop. As a child, I remember a lot of things. I was a wild child. I was that child that you couldn't take nowhere, because I was under the sink, looking at stuff, taking stuff apart. That was me. Very curious, very explorative. When we moved in our neighborhood where I grew up, I was about 3. When we moved in that house, it's funny because let me finish the story. They were moving in day. My sister was supposed to be watching me, and they turned around. I was gone. They looked for me high and low. And mind you, we were one of the first people of color to move in that neighborhood back then. And they ended up finding me. I was about 3 blocks away in somebody's backyard on their swings. I was just doing me. That's what I wanted to do. So that's what I did. I remember that. It was funny. I was fine. And they found me in that backyard and then brought me back. As a child, I was always sneaking out. This might sound cruel, but my mother didn't know what she was doing, and I think it had an effect on me. I used to get up in the middle of the night, and I would go down into the kitchen, and I would get the butter, the sugar, the flour, food coloring, milk, eggs. I would just pull it out, and I was mixing up whatever I was mixing up. And, I was just down there in the kitchen I don't know what I was doing, but I was just doing it. I was just exploring as a kid. I guess that's what I saw her doing it and saw them doing it, so I wanted to do it too. But I just waited to the middle of the night. I was that kid that would get up in the middle of the night and get into stuff. And so I would do that, and never mind the mess I made, because it'd be all on the walls, on the floor, refrigerator, and then I would, once I was finished playing, I'd make my way back up the stairs, but I would be so tired I would fall asleep right at the top of the stairs. So my bedroom was maybe like here, my sister's was here. The bathroom was right in front of where I was sleeping, and my parents' room was right there. And so in the morning, one of my parents would come out, and if they saw me sitting there, they didn't want to go downstairs because they already knew that I had messed up. I was down there tearing up stuff. So what my mother did, and I don't know if my father gave her the permission to do it. Who knows? One of them, who knows? There was a lock on my door. They used to lock me in my bedroom at night. Now, I think I was about maybe four, four, yeah, 3 or 4 when this was going on. And it's interesting because my bedroom had a door, but I guess they said, well, she ain't strong enough to unlock the door because I could go out and then I'd be out on, it was like a little patio outside my door, but I don't think they was thinking about that, and I wonder what they would have done if I would have opened that door as a kid, but I never did it. However, I did, I was getting out of that too. It got to the point where I would push something up to the dresser that was next to the door, and I'd jump up there and I'd pull the latch off and I'd get out. You know, I don't know what that's about, but I knew that they locked me in my room. I remember seeing that. And then it got to the point where they would put my sister in my room. She had her room, but then I had my room. And they began to put her in there so she could keep an eye on me, which wasn't cool to make her watch me, but that's how that was as well. You know, as a child, I was controlled because I was a free spirit. I would get up and do what I wanted to do. If they left me alone, they couldn't leave me alone too long. I've taken the television apart. I remember as a child I took the TV apart. And this is not the TVs. This is like those big black TVs back in the 60s and 70s. That kind of TV. And they left me, I was in the basement. I think I was about 7 or 8. Left me in the basement. I was down there. I took that TV apart. I remember it. I remember it plain as day. I sat there. I unscrewed everything, and I had a system. Okay, this goes here, this goes here, and before I knew it, I could turn all the way around, and all the pieces to the TV was right there. The only thing I didn't bother was the tube, but everything else in the TV had been taken apart. Then I was like, oh, I better put this back together because I know I'm going to get beat for this, because I got beat a lot as a kid for being me, being curious. And so I heard my mother upstairs, and I was like, oh my God, I got to hurry up, boy, I'm going to get it. And I literally, I kid you not, the way I took that TV apart, I put it back. I think it was a few screws, 2 or 3 screws that I couldn't remember, and I didn't put them back where they went. But when I plugged it back up, it came back on and it was fine, so I left it alone. Just me as a kid. Teenage, well, it's 19 minutes now. I won't really go too far. I was a daddy's girl. I was always with my dad. And I think part of the reason I didn't get beat as bad as I probably would have was because of my father. Because my father took things apart. My father put things back together. That was how my father's brain worked. And he knew that, and so he would let me help him. Because my mother was the disciplinarian. I used to beg, Daddy, please beat me. Don't let her do it. I remember that. My mother was merciless. Beat you like a runaway slave. I remember that. And I know all of that affected me. Interesting. It's interesting how You get in front of the camera. Here's 20 minutes. I'm past. You get in front of the camera and you just get to talking. This is probably a channeled message. I wasn't expecting to really do all this kind of talking. But I'm sure that there's somebody that's going to watch this and see themselves in it. The best advice I can give you is go within. You got to deal with those issues head on, because it's a lot of issues I've had to go within to deal with concerning my childhood. I was bullied, I was teased, but I know I was loved too, but I wasn't really hugged. I wasn't that kind of kid. My mother didn't hug me, and my sister would come over and hug me, and I would push her off. I didn't like it, because I felt like they were trying to hold me down. And I think that affected me too. But anyway, interesting. I'm gonna actually stop right now. I think I said quite a bit about my childhood, which is not even close to scratching the surface of me as a twin flame. But I knew as a child I was different. I knew that I was special. Whether that was special ed, no, I wasn't special ed. Gifted, probably. But I had a parent that didn't understand me. But I had a parent that did understand me. But the parent that did understand me died. And so I was left with the parent that didn't understand me, and it was a karmic situation. It was just crazy. It's just crazy. But anyway, let me get out of that energy, because that's the past. I can laugh about a lot of that stuff now, because it happened. And I'm sure it happened to a lot of other kids. These things probably happen to other kids. And I'm hoping with me coming in front of the video and actually discussing my tarot, my own personal tarot reading of what happened, how whatever happened in my childhood affected my ability to be an empress, abundant. Not that I wasn't, because like I said, my journey, I figured out some stuff, and I did do some things. I did break away. Intuitively, I knew to break away. But I know there are people that are still in it, and they don't know how to break away. And so hopefully by coming to my channel, you'll understand other ways to help you break away, or why you are even in that energy in the first place. So, I thought I was going to leave 3 minutes ago, and I'm still talking. Let me stop now. I probably will come on later on this evening. I have a tutoring job. Not a job. I create a lot of stuff. And found a little boy in my area needed a tutor, and I'm a special ed educator. So guess who's tutoring? So maybe after that, if I'm not with Divine Masculine, because like I said, that little message that popped up on the thing was him, and it's just totally different. Our situation is weird. It's just very strange. I will officially say I'm leaving now. Strange, I didn't put no music on while we're talking. I'll take note of that. You all take care. I'll see you all later. Peace.